It is a first alert weather day. We've been dealing with heavy snow and rain all night and all day today. So let's take a look at some of the damage. We've got some of these latest snowfall totals up above a foot in Peru and Middlefield and Heath. Plainfield checking in at a foot. Chesterfield around 8 inches last we heard. West Hampton around 5. Now there are some areas like, for instance, off the top of my head, Buckland. I have 2 snowfall amounts, one at 3 inches, one at 6, and there is an elevation difference. So even though you may see your town, you may not have maybe as much or you have a little bit more. It may be because you're at a different elevation. Rowe is at 13, Goshen at 700 feet, where our viewer is at 13. Blandford about 6, South Hadley about 4, which is actually a little surprising. And then Westfield and Southwick checking in at a very slushy inch. Now, despite some minor accumulations in the valley, a lot of the roads have just been mainly wet today. We do still have rain falling right now, right along 91 and mostly off to the east, but then out toward maybe Agawam, still seeing some rain. Looks like snow is falling back in Southwick and then all the way up I-91 and pushing off to the west. It seems like a lot of wet snow continues. The heaviest precipitation now hitting Boston, but that is, full on rain for sure. The only spot seeing any mixing or any snow is here in western Mass, the Litchfield Hills, and at times getting into the Worcester Hills. Now, as we progress throughout the rest of the evening, year 24 showing temperatures are this model was always a little bit high with temperatures even yesterday. So I would shave a couple of degrees off. We're going to continue to linger in the low to mid 30s for the rest of the evening. We'll see that rain snow line start to push a little bit farther southeast. And I think we will all eventually get some times where where we will have some snow falling, or at least a rain snow mix. And then I think overnight we'll transition to just some scattered snow showers. And there might be some minor accumulation even across the lower valley into early Saturday morning. But again, temperatures likely linger above freezing, so a lot of main roads will stay mostly wet. Then we go into Saturday. Any wet weather leaves early. The valley is going to dry out fast as wind shifts to the northwest, but I think the Berkshires will likely have more clouds and still seeing some snow showers around, especially on the western slopes. Temperatures climb to near 40 in the valley with skies turning partly cloudy tomorrow afternoon, and the Berkshires will likely stay in the low to mid 30s. Temperatures will be climbing again tomorrow, so we don't have this big cold air mass coming in behind this nor'easter, which is actually kind of atypical. Usually behind a strong system, we get a ton of cold air that follows, but that's not the case with this one. We're back to 40 degrees tomorrow. All across southern New England Saturday, we'll see a lot of 40s until you get into the Berkshires. That's where it's going to be colder due to that northwest wind at about 34 degrees for Pittsfield. And then Sunday, everybody cools off a little bit. We'll have more sunshine, but highs will be back to the 30s across all of western Mass. Now looking forward, our storm system departs tomorrow, and then we're dry from Saturday afternoon all the way out through Wednesday. We are keeping an eye on that second nor'easter for later next week, but there's a lot of spread in what could potentially happen. We do have a pretty confident, high confidence that it's going to be a powerful storm system, but the track and what kind of wet weather we see is still questionable. So going with White Christmas, it's still a possibility, but not a guarantee just yet. So looking at our 10-day forecast, a lot of seasonable temperatures on tap for the next 7 days, and then it does turn much colder for Christmas weekend. Back to you guys.
Janna, thanks.